So it goes on again. I don't know if you guys have seen or heard, but Adrien Broner went in on um, Dan Rafael again. So what happened was um, Dan Rafael had a wish list for 2016, right? And one of his wishes was for Adrien Broner to grow up. That was pretty funny, right? And so what happened was, obviously Adrien Broner got wind of this, right? And Adrien Broner left him a devastating, uh, a devastating. He ethered him, murdered him. If you guys like smack talking and um, dissing and bantering, you guys will appreciate this. So I'll quote Adrien Broner, but Dan Rafael had a a wish list for 2016, and again he said he wanted Adrien Broner to grow up. And I'll get into my commentary on how I feel about Adrien Broner. I know many of you guys have seen my video, but I'm quoting Adrien Broner, quote, Dan Rafael throwing shade at me for his wish list of 2016. LOL. Fuck you, fat bitch. I wish you would go get on a treadmill so you can see your dick by 2017 at Dan Rafael. I wish you would move to Miami so you can sell shade with your fat ass. Your body have its own area code. I'm tired of your out of shape ass. You will have to use a trampoline for a waist trainer. You you big as fuck. The only motherfucker I know who got a warrant for FUF, fucking up food. get, get the fuck on, fat bitch. End quote. So this is pretty amusing, you know. And but let's talk about this from a on a from a higher platform. After the Broner Porta fight, I I saw during the lead up to that fight, I saw a lot of immaturities in Adrien Broner, and I made it known on the on Dante's Boxing Nation. Dante interviewed me after that. You can go watch the video, and I vehemently challenged Adrien Broner. I 100% want Adrien Broner to succeed. He has a lot of potential, and I want him to grasp his potential and turn it into ability, skills, and awards, and whatever comes with him fulfilling his God-given potential. Now, I will say this: post Broner Porter, Adrien Broner, without a doubt, has has matured a great deal. If you guys need examples of this, I would love for you to go watch the epilogue from his last fight. It was about as mature as I've seen Adrien Broner. So I will say that without a doubt, Adrien Broner's on the right track. And two, look at his listen again to his diss when he's talking to Floyd Mayweather. Uh, now, now me filming the Mayweather and Sam Watson's movie, they're friends. They're without friends, and they act like brothers. They uh, um, so that was just and I mean this genuinely, two brothers that just was mad at each other for a moment. They without a shadow of doubt love each other. If I could, you guys would see it in the movie how much they appreciate one another, and how they organically banter against one another because they're both egos are larger than any room that they can go in. And when you have two egos as large as as large as them in the room, it's not room for one, so you have to make light of the other one. But Adrien Broner has been, I don't know if it's a complete 180 because I'm not with him every day and I don't follow him every day. But without a doubt, he's definitely more mature. If you go to his Instagram feed, as I did before I put this up, more family pictures, more serious stuff about boxing. And if you look at this previous, I mean, he was just running in the episodes with him having sex on World Star. getting pulled over, DUI. It's been none of that. So I'm not throwing shade on Adrien Broner, but I will say this: I'm applauding Adrien Broner. He has definitely matured, without a doubt. And if Dan Rafael would have said this June 21st, immediately following the Porter Broner fight, it would have had more merit. With him saying it now, it doesn't have as much merit because Adrien Broner post fight was amazing. Uh, in the epilogue, he's talking to Floyd. He says, "Man, fuck the bullshit. I'm about to take over boxing." And it wasn't in the amusing Adrien Broner voice. It was in an endearment tone. So um, I definitely was amused by his comments. Nothing will become of it, obviously. Dan Rafael will be at Adrien Broner's next fight, and media outlets will ask Adrien Broner about Dan Rafael. Dan Rafael will be interviewed about Adrien Broner, and it'll be water under the bridge by the time his next fight appears. But I'm curious to see will Adrien Broner do an interview with Dan Rafael. But Adrien Broner's a good guy. The stuff I've learned about Adrien Broner doing this movie, about him voluntarily helping out the Watsons and what they're and what they want to do in inner city Los Angeles is stuff that you guys should know about. And I'm looking forward to telling you guys this in a movie. And but this is Barbershop Conversation. Let me know what you guys think. Be amused by the comments as you should. Adrien Broner wants you to be amused, but there's always there's truth in most jokes. So and you know what else I noticed too? If so many boxers and people that are in boxing are disinterested and dislike Dan Rafael, why do they continuously uh, be interviewed by Dan Rafael? Remember, Brian Campbell does boxing as well. Why don't you be interviewed by Brian Campbell as opposed to Dan Rafael? But he has the ESPN tag, so that definitely helps him a great deal. I've never had any bad um, um, with Dan Rafael. I've never had any bad instances. Anytime I've asked Dan Rafael for an interview, I've gotten it. I may have disagreed with him, which is fine. He gets a little irritated when you disagree with him, but I mean, everyone has a right to their own opinion. So, on a personal level, I've never had any run-ins with Dan Rafael. I see him at every fight. Uh, I talk to him at every fight, hi and bye, because we know faces and stuff, so we get to know each other on I would say, on a superficial, platonic level. It's uh, it's it doesn't get any deeper, and there's an invisible threshold between black media and white media for sure in boxing, and I would even say uh, there's a threshold between white media and Latino uh, media as well. You can see it in the media room. You can see it, and in in the real world too. But in the media circles, you definitely can see it. But that's neither here nor there. Uh, I wouldn't want to use that as an excuse to be successful, but use that as a quote unquote trampoline to propel you, if you guys get the innuendo. But um, I'm not interested to see what happens between Dan Rafael and Adrien Broner, because it's at the end of the day, it's good for boxing. It promotes boxing, and their relationships will never be excuse me, will always be unsettled just because of their stances. But Adrien Broner should have fact checked. I mean, excuse me, Dan Rafael should have fact checked before he did this, because Adrien Broner's been awesome. I had a camera on him uh, for the celebrity basketball game, probably for about an hour and a half, and he was awesome with my cameraman. He was he talked a lot. It's awful. I'm not going to be able to post all that. Maybe I'll do it at a later time. Maybe a couple months after the movie, I'll be able uh, uh, to give you the video, because we may use it for something else. So that's why I don't. I was advised not to release the footage. But um, Adrien Broner is growing into himself, and it takes time. I don't know who I would be if I had $1 million at 18. You know, I'm in my late 30s now, so I don't I'm not saying he was a millionaire at 18, but he was awfully successful by the age he was 22, and popular, and was able to move the meter on a social level. So it takes time. You know, Floyd Mayweather is a great example of that. You know, there are many white examples that didn't go so well. Macaulay Culkin. Um, uh, oh, I'm drawing a blank. Britney Spears. That other girl that has problem with her parents. I can't think of her name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. She takes them to court all the time, hangs out with Charlie Sheen. There are multiple examples of white examples, but immaturity is common in most of us when we're presented with having to have responsibilities. That accelerates maturity, if you guys understand. So when I didn't have to pay rent, or now it's a mortgage to have a home, um, I didn't care if I was moving furniture and I hit the wall. Baby example, but you guys get my point. Um, when I was a little kid, I slept with the TV on. I'm an adult, I won't sleep with the TV on. Or a great example, when I was a child, I slept with the radio on when I didn't feel like getting up because we didn't have remotes for radios when I was a kid. We had we had cassette things, so we had to get up. Man, if I was tired after basketball practice or something like that, talking on the phone all night to your girlfriend when you were a junior or senior in high school, you guys remember them days, and you fall asleep on the phone and you're listening to the smooth jams on whatever R&B station or station you listen to, you didn't get up and get out of bed. But now I'm an adult. I won't leave the radio on for 8 hours at night because I know I'm paying for the electricity. So these are just examples of when responsibilities accelerates maturity. And Adrien Broner, I believe, has accepted those responsibilities, and he's mature. And it's not instant. It's not like pancakes and coffee and tea. It doesn't happen instantly. It's a learned behavior. So you have to he has to alter his behaviors. He has to relearn, and his team gets a bad rap. But me being around them for a couple hours, although it was a festive environment, they love each other dearly. It's no That team isn't breaking up, and they trust each other dearly. So um, um, about these comments, getting back to these comments, it is what it is. Enjoy the comments, but I believe Adrien Broner is maturing, and I challenged Adrien Broner because I wanted more from him. I was like school teacher talking to student, and when I was an award-winning teacher. I've um, the city of I taught in Duarte. The city of Duarte um, gave me great awards. The school district gave me great awards. So I'm speaking from experience, and that's what I saw from Adrien Broner, a kid who I can look at and see can potentially have everything in the sport of boxing, outside of the boxing, endorsements to championships to everything else, and he made 140 easy. That was a great example of him maturing, because at the Adrien Broner, I mean, Porter fight was 143, 142, or something like that, 143, and making weight shows an example of being responsible, and he's done a great job. So this is Barbershop Conversations. I appreciate you guys' support, and Happy New Year's. Hope your resolutions are coming to fruition, and I look forward to bringing you guys more boxing content. I'll have some greater news for you guys next week in terms of where we are with the documentary. You guys will be excited to hear this news, but Barbershop Conversations, let me know what you know. Let me know what you guys think about the comments with Dan Rafael. And again, I appreciate you guys' support. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace, guys.